What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. My name is Julio, and I'm joined today by some friends and fellow Inter Miami fans, Dave, Chris, and Jose. Powered by 786 Sports, somewhere in there. And on behalf of the guys, I want to thank you for stopping by and joining us on the Heron Heads podcast, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. We were not live last night after the Orlando City match. Florida Panthers hockey was on Game 7, and an actual good team in South Florida was taking care of business. So we were watching that. We spent all day out celebrating Chris's birthday, so that was fun, and we were a bit tired. So
we're old.
We're here now. We're here now, and I think we're gonna do something a little bit different today. And instead of just talking about the Orlando City match, I think there is just a better conversation to be had about the season as a whole and where the club stands right now. Obviously, they're in a really bad run of form, so there are bigger issues than just losing to Orlando City 3-0, although that is like a culmination of the problems. So without further ado, how is everybody else doing on this wonderful Monday evening?
Well, I'm gonna address Mike V. Mike, it's not that we're late. It's what it is. We saw the party. We saw the party. It was there, and like everyone wanted to just like talk about it, but we were kind of thinking to ourselves, we're like, I don't know if I want to do another recap of a loss, and the reason why like we're all on the same page, like all four of us. We're like, this team's becoming very like depressing, to cover, and there's a broader story to talk about, which is the state of the club right now. Just where are we? Where do we? What can possibly change the route that we're in? We lost. We got beat to a pulp by our rivals. It's pretty bitter to swallow, and this is the worst that like we've seen them in a while, right?
Yeah, in a long while. I mean, I did not expect this at all. We saw the players they brought in. We saw how they've played. We had a good start with Mascherano. We were kind of happy about it. We even spoke about him a little bit. He started off very well, and then all of a sudden the wheels just fell off, and it took a complete downturn. Something that none of us could have ever expected. We all thought, maybe it's just a game. Oh, we lost CONCACAF. We'll get it back together. We'll go back to MLS play. We'll dominate. And we haven't seen any sort of, not even inkling of domination yet. We've seen a mismanaged team. We've seen players that don't want to play. Their demeanor out there is just horrible. Now we have Messi blaming the refs for things. We have Mascherano saying, "Oh, we played a good first half. It's okay. We haven't been dominated." That's what he said. And it's just excuses after excuses, and this team has way too much talent to accept any of those excuses from anyone to this point. All over Instagram and Twitter, La Familia was complaining. The people that go out there every match and support the team and go out with their instruments and just cheer all day long, they're complaining that the players aren't even going up to their area to wave at them or thank them or anything. Like, it's a complete downturn that we've seen from this team, and it's not fun. It's not fun. It's disrespectful to the fans. It's disrespectful just to the Inter Miami club to be out there and playing the way that they are. It's insane what we've seen so far.
If that's the bar that Mascherano's hanging his hat on, that we weren't dominated the first half, this is a club that shouldn't be worried about people dominating them. We should be worried about dominating other people. So the fact that he's just proud that they weren't dominated for a half, like the mentality at that spot at the manager position is clearly flawed, and that's trickled down. Early on, we had good success because our defense kind of came back and we were able to figure it out, and then the attack, which we thought was an afterthought, we're like, oh yeah, the attack will always be great with the players we have. Once that started falling off, then I think Mascherano started to tinker a little bit to try to fix the attack. Nothing he did ever really fixed the attack. and then the defense started to suffer. And now it seems like everything's completely gone off the rails. The attacks is broken, the defense is broken, the goalkeeper is broken. This club is broken right now. And I don't see how there's any other way to fix it other than bringing somebody in who can fix it. Jose is a known fixer, so maybe that's the move.
As my first declaration, the first thing I would do,
I declare bankruptcy.
yeah, the first thing I do is I put a poll on Twitter and I would say who do you guys want in? Who do you the fans want to go in? How bad can that get?
Manager by Twitter opinion.
The manager of the people.
That's it. What do you guys want?
And props. I don't know I didn't catch who the reporter was that asked him the question about what's going on here. That he answered that way about dominating the first half. Because then that same reporter called him out. He goes, "This is a 90-minute match. Why are you even saying it's just the first half dominated or didn't get dominated the first half?" So props to that guy. I don't know who he was, but it was awesome because you don't see that often from reporters. But I think a lot of people are getting fed up with this, and you're seeing it from all angles at this point.
And it's such a negative comment from him, right? Like we shouldn't. It shouldn't be a question of did we get dominated in this match. It should be like we didn't play up to our standards. We'll get them in the second half. Like it's not we didn't get dominated, so it's 0-0 at halftime, and then it ended, and guess what? We were dominated, and it ended 3-0, and we didn't do anything, and nothing's changed over the last month and a half.
And it wasn't 0-0 at halftime because this team did something that they often do, where they get a bad call, and instead of continuing to play, everybody just stops, pivots to the ref, and starts to complain, and they immediately turn around and score right at the death, right before halftime. And then you go into the second half, not only down a goal, but with a really bad taste in their mouth because now the whole team feels that the refs are against them and they feel that everything is against them. Like this team shouldn't even have that complex. You have too many good players to feel that the refs can affect the game that much. I'm sorry. You have Alba, you have Messi, you have Suarez, you have Busquets. These guys are leaders. They've been in leadership positions their entire career. I don't understand how this can continue to happen.
Yeah, and David, just to go back to something you said a little while ago, and you spoke about that the first half of the season, or the first piece of the season, we started off with a good defense. The attack wasn't there, but we were winning games. We were playing solid defense, and all of a sudden, Mascherano made that change to kind of get the attack involved or going. Well, like you said, the attack hasn't been going. The defense is completely crap. They haven't done anything.
At that point.
And now we haven't seen a consistent lineup in weeks. Every week he has a new lineup out there. He has a new starting 11. He just keeps changing things up. So in anything that you do, especially sports, if there's no consistency to what you're doing, you're never going to find the groove. You're never going to find that sweet spot that everyone is just working and like a well-oiled machine. You're never going to find it if you keep changing it every week. Week to week, we keep saying new people out there, different people. Your center backs need to get used to each other. They need to play with each other often. Your attackers up front, they need to know what runs they're making, what they're doing. And there's no cohesiveness anywhere on this team. And we're going to keep seeing that if he keeps deploying different people and different lineups and formations out there.
Yeah, he's obviously grasping at straws because when we had Noah Allen, Falcon at center back, that clearly worked. You had Alba and Frey on the outside. I understand Frey had a bad game last match, but you know what? When you don't play a guy for a month, that tends to happen. But when you have Frey and Alba at back four was solid to start the season. But now, since he's not getting what he wants in attack, he has to tinker. He has to see, what different combination can work. Now, this last match, he pushed Alba up front. And then you have Noah Allen playing left back, which is not ideal. And then you have Lujan playing at center back, just freaking terrible. And it's just even the tinkers don't seem to make sense. Like I feel like there's always a better option when he does something like that. Like I get putting Alba in the attack, but then to insert Lujan over Toto, or even why not try Cello once at center back? If Noah Allen can make that transition to center back so well, imagine somebody like Cello who we had similar criticisms to when Noah Allen first came on the club. Like, oh, he gets lost in the attack. Whenever he's found himself in the attack, bad things happen. When you push him into the center back spot, he doesn't push forward as much, and good things tend to happen. I don't know why they haven't even attempted to put Cello at center back. I don't know if there's egos involved. I don't know, but there's something else that needs to be done, and it doesn't seem like Mascherano is willing to.
And even yesterday, he just played a weird formation. Yeah, it was like a 3 at the back or 5 in the back, whatever you want to call it. Because really, they had 3 center backs is what they had, and then they had Alba and Frey. But that's completely different from what we've seen. So everyone's playing all kinds of different positions there, and I mean, we're just not going to see any difference like that.
And you know what else? I would say that I don't know. I have a fun. Did you know? I just wanted to cut you off.
Oh, God.
Did you know that
boy.
we won 7 of our last 8 games ever since trading away Robert Taylor?
Huh?
No, we haven't.
No. We won one out of our last
God.
8 games. We
What a
won one out of
disaster.
our last 8 games since trading away Robert Taylor.
It's going to be a fantastic clip from the moment that you interrupted to that wrong stat. It's just going to be.
Do you miss
It's
him
gonna
yet,
be more
Jose?
entertaining, David, than watching Inter Miami right now. I'm glad.
Do you miss him yet, Jose? Do you?
You know what? I mean, at this point, what's why not? You know, just throw people in there at this point.
Boy.
I saw it from Carlos here. Carlos C. said, still can't believe we got rid of Rojas. And that's something that we keep seeing match after match after match. The unwillingness of anyone to shoot from outside the box until it's like scramble time at the very end where everybody's just getting the shot stuffed right in their face.
No,
Nobody wants to take a shot.
No, Allen took a good shot.
No, I don't rip one the other day.
Yeah, he took one early, and then he kind of looked around like, they let me do that.
It feels like
Correct, Chow. Correct.
it feels like the start of the season was such a good start for Mascherano's tenure, and it feels like teams figured them out, and now he actually has to coach the team, and there's nothing there, right? We started the season 8-0-1 in all competitions. Granted, a couple matches against Cavalier, the Jamaican team, a couple softball matches at the beginning of the season, but like, cool, like that's where you're able to get your feet underneath you and actually learn the team, learn your players. But now we start games and sometimes have like a 10-15 minute stretch to start the match where we look up for it. Like if we're actually going to do something and be competitive, then teams settle in and it's brutal the remaining 75 minutes of the match where teams just toy with us. I mean, they cut through our midfield. They kill us in defense. They're running all around our defenders. I mean, yesterday, it felt like Orlando had all the defenders in knots, right? Like everyone was tripping over themselves. Falcon, Frey fell over himself. Lujan fell over himself. Like everyone was just all twisted up. And there's nothing going on in attack. Like the creativity that we had last season is just completely gone. And it's so hard to pinpoint because like you don't know what Mascherano is telling them from a tactical perspective. If he's telling them anything, I would presume he's saying something, but it's like you don't know what their instructions necessarily are. But it feels like everyone's just doing their own thing, and at the professional level, that just doesn't work. Like the whole point behind there being a manager is for him to manage the team and manage the tactics on the pitch, and things started so promising. But maybe that was all on the back of the talent of the players that are out there. It had nothing to do with Mascherano. And that's something that I'm starting to think is really the root of all these issues, because looking at some of the stats from even last year compared to this year, like the efficiency of the team is so lacking. It's really, really bad.
Let's dive into those stats, Julio.
Well, Jose, since you asked, so let's just... Like I want to start by basically separating that first 9 matches of the season when we were undefeated, when we were 8-0-1, and this is again in all competitions, and then comparing it to the last 12 matches where we're 6-3, right? So we've won only 3 matches of the last 12, which is awful for this team.
Yep.
In those first 9 matches, we were scoring over 2 goals a game and allowing less than 1. We were never shut out, and we had 4 clean sheets. Across 9 games, we had 4 clean sheets, if you can imagine.
Yep.
In the last 12 matches, we're only averaging 1.5 goals per game, 1.5. We're allowing 1.8 goals against, right? So we're negative already there. We have been shut out 4 times, and we have 2 clean sheets. And the clean sheets were against Chicago and Columbus, who I can't even wrap my head around how we beat them 1-0.
Nope, we
But
get
like
them in like a week from now again. So
the scoring has dropped, and the defense has collapsed and is a calamity now. And it's brutal. Like it's awful.
they've allowed 14 goals in the last 5 matches. That's insane. It's insane. They're literally just firing at will and scoring. Yesterday went right through Stadi's legs, 5-hole, right through.
Through his
unacceptable.
hands.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
the
a
thing.
shortstop that doesn't
Yeah.
put the glove down.
He had
Exactly.
it was such a small space for the ball to get through, and it went through his hands, through a tiny little hole between his legs. It's just like, is he trying to let it? Like, it's, I don't know. This club right now is listless.
Okay. But I mean, anything nice to say at all, or
No, but I think it's
No,
important.
yeah.
Like, so I was looking at the stats of this year just to see, like, all right, like, why aren't the goals coming? What's different than last year? Because I think last year teams were scared to go against us because we knew we could score like a lot, and teams knew we could score. And even if we played bad defense, we could put up 3 or 4 goals in a game and just win by outscoring the other team, regardless of how many goals they scored, right? Like, now teams don't fear us at all because we can't score and we can't defend. So like, there's nothing good about this team right now. So
And, sorry,
but-
and the quick little cherry on top for rumors, I saw that now they're saying, again, rumor, so take it with a grain of salt.
that's all we got right now, Dave?
The the Messi contract is on hold.
What
I
does
read
mean?
that today too.
That means
I
that
read
they
that
were
today.
progressing towards signing, and everybody was saying that it's inevitable, and now they're saying now it's on hold, which means he's probably unhappy right now.
I mean, it's embarrassing,
Yeah,
man.
but imagine that we have this calamitous fall, and then Messi leaves. That's a disaster.
it'd be pretty bad.
And what would be worse than that is if Messi leaves and Mascherano stays.
Oh
No,
my
if
god.
Messi leaves, there's no reason to keep Mascherano. For being
Of course, they have to get rid of. They have to get rid of him this week, but it's not
the
going to
thing
happen.
is that, like, that's not a good look for him either, though, is it?
for who?
For Messi?
You think these results are a good look for him?
Oh, but like, let's.
You're
Okay,
talking
let's,
about bringing
let's,
Mascherano in?
yeah, let's dive deep. Okay, if
I thought you were talking about Messi leaving.
him leaving and him leaving while we're down like this, I'm posing the question: does that look good on him?
As long as wherever he goes next, he does well, then yes. If he goes somewhere else, let's say he goes to Saudi.
Also, it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of Messi's career. Like,
Exactly. I understand that.
from our perspective, it'll be like, yeah, that's a bad look. But like,
I understand. I'm just he's
outside of the Inter Miami circle, no one's gonna care.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, haha, that didn't work.
And then he goes somewhere else and does well.
would you
and gets paid $1
would you
billion.
say that would you say that it didn't work if that's what happens?
If you were to leave like today, I mean, he no matter what, we've won 2 trophies, right? Like,
Right. That's why
this
that's
team,
why-
the feel around this team, even as bad as it is right now, we went through being the laughingstock of the league for 2-3 years before he arrived. So, I mean, like, we've been to the depths of hell. So, like, would Messi's tenure, if he left right now, be a failure? I don't know. It's not a complete failure if you were to leave tomorrow.
Well, first of all, he's not leaving midseason. Like that's
No,
the
of
one.
course not. But in a
No,
hypothetical,
she's just posing. Yeah, the question.
Yeah, but also like remember
And-
this
I'm not
club,
saying Well, I'm not. No, but I never said mid-season. I was saying at the end of the season.
Yeah, he took this club from a last place team, and he made them into champions. One with the League's Cup, and one with the Supporter Shield. You can argue the Supporter Shield is the most important championship that we have. So without Messi, we don't get any of those. Like, let's be real, we don't get any of these crazy external signings. Before Messi, we were bringing in the likes of Matuidi illegally, and what is it, Higuain. Those are the two biggest signings that we had.
Robbie Robinson.
Oh, that's a draft pick.
So we brought him in, bro.
He had no choice. He was drafted.
Robert Taylor.
Shafted.
Lewis Morgan. You know,
He was in our
Let
what's it
me
called?
throw that Mount
Expansion.
Rushmore up there.
He was
real quick.
expansion. Breck Shea. If we're just gonna throw names.
Breck. My God.
Yedlin. All right. So, anyways, going back to the efficiency or lack thereof. So, Messi has 7 goal contributions. Suarez actually leads the team in goal contributions this season with 8. 6 of which are assists. He has 2 goals. First off, the fact that we have 2 goals from number 9s this season is very damning. Like, that is not good. We've played, what is it, 13 games in the MLS this season, and we have 2 goals from the striker position. That's unacceptable. Messi in the MLS this season has 7 goal contributions in 845 minutes played. That's a goal contribution every 120 minutes. Last season, he had a goal contribution every 41 and a quarter minute. So we're at 3 times that now. Or I guess 3 times worse than that. Suarez, goal contribution every 94 and a half minutes. Allende, every 154 minutes. Fafa, who has played only 358 minutes, has a goal contribution of 1 goal contribution every 89 and a half minutes. He's the only one of the top 6 that I listed here that is with a goal contribution per game on average. And he's only played 358 minutes.
He doesn't get played.
It's horrible. And
Comes in, he scores, he gets out. That's it.
It's just the efficiency too. Like I went even further and looking at the shots, right? So last year Messi took 84 shots. At least these are tallied by MLS. I don't know how official or not they are. 43 of them were on target. So he had a effective shooting percentage of 51%. 20 goals on those 43 shots on target. So about 46%. This season, 24 shots on target on 53 shots, 45%. So that's a drop of 6 percentage points. 5 goals, 20%. Last year was 46%. And he was 2 times over his XG last year. And right now, everyone's just bang average with their XG, except for Suarez, who's under.
For those stats, I feel like it's also an indicative of like what we're seeing defenses play us with.
Well, that's what I'm saying, Jose, is that it seems like these players are just left to their own devices and are like, go do it. There's no tactics. It's just everyone's out there doing their own thing, and there's no plan of attack, right? There's no, hey, like when Messi's coming in from the inside, then Suarez is going to go across back post and Allende is going to cut in behind and be available at the top of the box. Like there's nothing. It's just like, figure it out.
Messi down the middle.
I'm just here because I'm everybody's friend and I don't know what I'm doing. That's like the vibe that I get. And when I go into the numbers, I feel like that justify, like it's almost confirmation bias, but I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah, like teams didn't just figure out that Messi is good. We should throw bodies at him now. Like this is something that since the moment Messi came into this league, everybody's been harassing him. So he would still find a way to score in the last 2 years. So the first 1.5 years he was here. And then now all of a sudden, the only thing that's different is the manager is different. And now nobody can do anything. And Messi's stats have dropped dramatically. And his efficiency has dropped dramatically. And why is that? Because Julio made a very good case that Mascherano brings nothing to the team when it comes to tactics.
And Suarez's efficiency too is a really, really big deal, or his lack of efficiency.
Right.
Because at least Suarez could take some attention away from Messi, so that when Messi approaches the box, there can't be 5 people around him because someone needs to be on Suarez.
But that's kind of my point also, right? Where it's like, okay, so your numbers are they're suggesting exactly that, right? But the same, and it's showing me that okay, Macherano's doing a terrible job of scheming out of it, right? But also the other guys are doing a terrible job of just like stepping up and taking some of that pressure off of Messi. So, for example, like Tony Ash just made a good point. As Suarez is dropping form, it's kind of what you were saying. Most versions, more defenders on Messi, Miami defenders pushing up to help creating open to the counter. It's right. So you're getting our wing backs. They're coming back. Basically when I say Cello, he's flying up, and I see Alba flying up, and then we have 3 guys in the back, and we're super open to a counter every time. And so that's contributing on 2 different levels, right? Because nobody's there on the receiving end for Alba's beautiful crosses. Cello's in no man's land most of the time. So he's there for I don't know why. And then you put literally in the back, and I could have sworn last year we only had Alba's kind of flying up. Yelin's flew up a few times. It wasn't really so consistent like Cello is, I feel, this year. And it's not helping. It's not really helping, and it's not helpful. And it's just we're not going to see a good Messi because there's 4 guys on him right now. Because like Dave, you're saying that they've always swarmed with him, but I feel like the way that they're doing it this year is it's like it's he can't get free. Like he's not getting any free shots on goal
because everyone else is just standing around.
There's no other threat around him to do anything. So why not do that? But what Tony Axe is also saying is that our center backs are also, that line is being pushed up a lot to try to create some sort of something. That's why you see Noah Allen shooting from outside the box or making these assists. The assist that he had a few weeks ago was really nice. They called it a goal. But that's why you see these kind of plays, because their line is really pushing, their back line is pushing up a lot. But it leaves us open. That's why we have burned constantly the last 2 months. That's just not the tactic to play here, and that's all Mascherano. That's his answer to all of this. Push your line up and hope something happens up there. We never saw Tata do that, to be honest. Our players got burned. Our line got burned because the players are getting burned at times, but we never really saw Tata push the line up that much. Why haven't they fired Mascherano yet? The tongue twister. Oh boy,
it's good stuff.
And one of the other things that I found interesting is that Busquets has 1 assist on the season, and he wasn't lighting it up in the goal contributions last season. He finished with 7 in the MLS, but it still amounted to a goal contribution every 340 minutes, and it's just like the drop offs. Even if it's a smaller sample size, it still is very meaningful when you extrapolate it over the course of the season. And if things don't improve, like, it's only going to get tighter. And when there's so much pressure on the team because they can't score, you get the center backs creeping up, you get the wing backs flying up because they feel like they have to overcompensate for the lack of production from the frontline players, right? If the attackers aren't scoring, the other players got to get involved, especially if there's no tactics that are like really sound and fundamentally drilled into these players. They're just gonna be like, okay, screw it, like I'm gonna go for a run, and Chelo's gonna go exploring and find himself in no man's land. And it was okay last season when we were scoring, but this year it's even more glaring because then it's like, okay, we put up 0, Orlando puts up 3, and everything's a disaster. But our inability to score, it's almost like, I mean, this is to some extent a regression to the mean, because last season we were way over our XG. We were, I think, the number 1 team as far as like over exceeding our XG in the differential, and now we're spot on, maybe a little below, but like everyone is just hitting the mark on their XG. And it's, again, the number may seem insignificant because it might be like, oh, we have an XG of 5 and we scored 6. But again, extrapolated over the course of 20 games, that's a huge difference. And again, we're feeling it. And last night felt like a microcosm of the last month and a half, where it's just issues all over the place. Ustadi again, like he started the match and I was like, okay, he got a couple saves early and things look a little bit better, but ended up being another stinker. And now more questions are like, okay, like Ustadi's not the guy that he was in the beginning. In the beginning of the season, he was making great saves, passing the ball really well and distributing. But now it's just like the guy can't stop a beach ball.
Yeah. So, I mean, what do you guys think is the worst or the biggest issue on the team right now? Is it
Honestly,
Mascherano
I think it's
only,
Mascherano.
or are there players that we could blame here? And
I think Mascherano is the biggest problem. I think Ustadi has been abysmal in the last, I don't know, 4 matches, 5 matches, however far back you want to go. His play needs to be better. I mean, there's some of these goals that need to be they just need to be stopped. Like touching his hands, you would call him butterfingers on the field if he were out there with you. Like he needs to stop some of these passes. And I kind of chalk everything else up to bad management, bad tactics. We have like on paper, these players are so skilled and there's good quality players here, but they're playing so far below their levels.
I would say the biggest, and I'm a huge Suarez guy. Like I feel like he's the one that could potentially cover for a lot of things that are going wrong, because if he were to, it's like they said before, right? Like if he were to put some balls in the back of the net, I feel like a lot of these things would kind of fix themselves in a way where maybe we will become more potent because he's not only being more efficient with the ball and scoring, he'll take some of that pressure off of Messi and off of others, and perhaps he can open up the offense. The 9 position is what I believe hurting us tremendously.
I agree that Suarez's drop off is killing us. However, I do pin more of the blame on Mascherano because of the fact that there are other players to play there. He has the authority to take Suarez out. He has the authority to put Obando in. He has the authority to put Fafa in. He has the authority to put other pieces in position to score, and he doesn't do anything. He just continuously puts Suarez out there that everyone with eyeballs can see cannot move, cannot create, and he keeps putting him in there hoping that he's going to strike lightning, and it doesn't work.
Do you think Obando is the answer, though?
He has to.
I think you have to see.
More.
Yeah.
He physically already can bring more than Suarez, and on that alone, put him in there and let him develop. The front office believes in this guy. They brought him in. This is a highly sought after player. He's destined for La Liga. He's from Madrid. What is it? Atletico. He's from Atletico de Madrid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, originally, I thought you meant originally. Sorry.
No. He's on loan from Atleti.
Yeah.
So this player has pedigree. For him to just be rotting away on the bench, and then when they do bring him in, it's out of position. That's why I continuously have to put the blame on Mascherano, because he always puts players in the wrong spot when he does make changes, and he's scared of making the obvious ones.
And with these young players, like Christian's saying here, like they need instruction. Yeah. They need tactics. Like, again, Mascherano's not improving any of these players. I feel like these players came in and on the back of their skill succeeded early on. Like we saw Allende and Segovia come in and they were flying. They were banging goals like crazy and it was like beautiful. And then there's no further instruction. So when teams adjusted to their style of play, it's over. Like you see just a vice grip and nothing's going on with this team anymore. That's why they come out and it's almost like if anyone's familiar with American football, teams usually come out on the first drive with a scripted set of plays basically. And it's like, okay, the first 5 minutes of the game is going to look like this. And then after that, now you got a coach. So like Mascherano comes out and there's the first 5 to 10 minute stretch where everything's more or less scripted, going according to plan. But then you got a coach and you got to see how the other team's going to react to how you come out. And there's just nothing, man. It's just, I imagine just like a cross section of Mascherano's brain. And it's just, there's nothing in there. There's just space. It's just dark matter.
the only young player who's taken a step forward under Mascherano is Noah Allen, and it's because he's a little mini clone of Mascherano. So if he's going to be able to instruct anybody anything, it's going to be a similar size player playing the similar position.
It's like Timu Mascherano.
Yeah. Outside of that, it's embarrassing and it's
And
not a good look. And when you have, like, remember when we brought in Redondo and people were like, their close family and friends were okay with that move because, you're gonna go play with Messi, you're gonna learn from Busquets, Tata Martino's there, they're gonna develop you. Now we're showing a few times over that that's not true. I think especially Redondo coming here and not taking the next step or taking a step just backwards, that I think that's going to hurt us when it comes to getting players like that in the future.
And what really bothers me about it doesn't bother me that Noah Allen's improved, but the logic of Noah Allen has improved because Mascherano was a undersized defenseman. He understands how to play defense well. Is that why is the rest of our defense so crap? If they have better physical, God-given builds.
Because he's just talking to Noah Allen. He doesn't. It's blinders, and he's only talking to Noah Allen.
It drives me crazy. It's like
Lujan as well.
If anything should be improving, it should be the defensive play, and it has just progressively gotten worse back there.
The thing is, it did improve in the beginning of the season. It did improve. They were good. Our defense was good. I don't care what anyone says. They were good. They were not getting scored on at all. And then, like we said, he just had to compensate for the lack of attack, and that just screwed everything up completely. So they were good. He did improve somewhat. I mean, there was something there, and it just got lost.
Again, to me, in hindsight, it just feels like it's on the back of their skill. Like Falcon came in. No one knew how this guy was going to play, and he came in with his hair on fire. The peluca was on fire.
A lot of hair.
And him alongside Allen, it was beautiful. Like we were like, oh, unbelievable. We have no doubts about our defense. When we came into the season, we didn't know who was going to be our best two center backs, and now we know for sure it's Noah Allen and Falcon. And then Falcon's form has dropped off. Ustari's form dropped off. Chelo was already pretty bad, dropped off. Segovia completely fell off the face of the earth. Allende has been adding in a little moments here and there in the last couple of matches, but generally speaking, dropped off.
Yeah.
There's big issues. There's big issues, guys. I mean, I it's very obvious, and I hope that some of these perspectives are helping us to understand it collectively. But man, there's some deep rooted issues here, and it also feels too just like the attitude of all these players. Chris, like you mentioned before, like not going and basically like thanking, the La Familia after the match, like those little things, man, like the culture, the vibe, it's very negative. And we sort of talked about this after the previous match before Orlando City, that it's just like the vibes are so off. They're so negative. It feels like cancerous almost going throughout the clubhouse right now. And it's really bad, man. We need to steady the ship. It's a long MLS season. There's a lot of quality players here. There's transfer rumors and people that we can be bringing in to help revitalize the club. But if Mascherano's leading the team, how he's been leading them the last month and a half, it's not going to get a lot prettier because it's just going to be more of the same.
It's so we're not quite halfway through the season yet. It's like June-ish, mid-June, I think is halfway through the season. And we've seen a lot of bad, obviously. Is there anything that could happen going forward that could make us feel better? And do we think it's going to happen? Whatever we think could make it better.
Some fun transfers at the spark. Maybe inject some life into a locker room that needs it. I think our locker room is very down. I feel like we go down a few goals and we quit, and that's never been something that we've seen during the Messi era. To be honest, I had never seen that. I always felt like we were still in it and we were still going to fight. You guys just think about that Leagues Cup run that we had. I mean, how many times were we down and we just came back? That to me is what probably hurts me the most is to see that, because it's like, the lack of wanting to just come back. It's just like you're up 2-0, it's over. We're done. Let's pack our bags, go to the next game. And I think Charles right. Like a lot of teams and players, we've seen the ups and the downs in this team, and but we always get back up. But the fact that we do as far as we've dropped, I don't know how. Yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to get there. To answer your question, I don't know if we'll be able to, even with a few nice additions. I don't know if it's going to help because I think we're so low that it's just I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think an outside addition is gonna make me feel like this is it. This is the move that's gonna change the season. Mostly because who could you possibly bring in that's gonna take that much pressure off of Messi? Like I don't think that player exists. Again, we have good enough talent right now as is to be better, and just bringing in some more pieces that are similar, maybe slight upgrades over what we have. I don't have the confidence in Mascherano's system. I don't have the confidence that Mascherano's going to put them in the right spot. So the only thing, and I don't expect it to happen, but the only thing that will give me that will reinvigorate me and give me real hope that there's going to be a giant upswing to the season is if they somehow part ways with Mascherano this in the middle of the season, which I can't see it happening, but it's realistically, like all things being equal, it's the best move for this club is to find a way to move on from Mascherano, and not just move on from him without a plan, but to move on from him with an actual tactical manager.
Yeah, I think the thing that can change in this club, and this goes from Mascherano and up, is just a willingness of having difficult conversations. Like Suarez needs to be questioned as a starter. Certain players need to be questioned as a starter. And the conversation with Mascherano needs to be, we need to see results or this is done. Like we need to move on and get moving. Like there is a limited window here that we are dealing with Messi and all the Barca guys. This is an opportunity that this club, from a business perspective, from a branding opportunity, like things need to happen now, because if they don't happen now, it will be classified as a failure. Going back to your earlier question, Jose, like this experiment will be a failure if things don't turn around and we become a laughing stock because of what we tried to do and it just going up in flames. So I think there needs to be a willingness to have these difficult conversations with Mascherano, with some of these players that maybe they just feel like they show up and they get to walk on and play 90 minutes on Saturday, Sunday. That can't be good enough. Like the results are not good enough, and things need to change. Again, I think the quality of these players is there, but like something's got to change, man. This culture is not good. Like it's too laid back. There's not enough change. Like there's not enough repercussions for poor play.
So if
I have a comp. I have a coach comp. When you go ahead, Dave Cringe. One of my favorite coaches is Pat Riley from the Heat. And in these situations, whenever there's a little downfall mid-season, one of the things that all of the players know is straight up misery is about to ensue. Like he is not happy, the coach is not happy, and we're not happy because he's not happy, because ultimately he makes everybody miserable. And it has to be that kind of like, yeah, absolutely, please. There's no way it'll be worse. Like ultimately, like it has to be that way. If everybody just lovey-dovey and they're all still friends, it's not a big deal. No, bro, you're professionals. You're getting your butt kicked in, your teeth kicked in. I mean, come on. Let's have a little fight. This is silly. It's silly to watch.
So what I was gonna ask is, if let's say we limp into the playoffs, we keep playing mediocre, not great, whatever, but we limp in, we get that like low seed, and we somehow make a miracle run and win the MLS Cup. Is Mascherano absolved from all of this nastiness that we've seen? Do we keep him? Do we keep on going, or is this taste still left in our mouth and we want him out?
Look at Tata. Tata he set the points record, and he won the Supporter Shield, and he won Leagues Cup, and he was still forced out. So I mean, if we limp into the tournament, yes, you can catch fire in the tournament, which is why the tournament is a little ridiculous. But if that's the only thing you win is the MLS Cup, which is very volatile, then I think you still have to have your eyes open for somebody else. If you can't find a better replacement than Mascherano, then yeah, of course you're going to stick with him. But you have to have your eyes wide open for somebody to come in and take that spot, because this is not good enough. We can't meander our way through competitions. Like, it can't happen.
Yeah.
You're wasting everyone. Julio says it's a small window. Not only are you wasting the older players, but you're not developing your other talent. So this is not acceptable. Even if they find a way to win in the MLS Cup, you have to get better. You have to get better in so many different aspects of the training room that I don't see any scenario other than they can't find a replacement, which is mind-boggling if they can't.
Which we already know Jose's available, so.
Right.
That's right.
Well, it doesn't get any easier because next up, Philadelphia,
God.
who, again, I don't know how we beat, but we beat them last time.
Yeah.
I don't know to tell you, but I am available, and I would definitely put the poll on X and just say, who do you guys want to start? A, B, C, or D, and just have different ideas on my little blackboard here that I have, just start sketching them out, and I'll take pictures of it.
Royal Caribbean out as the shirt sponsor.
Yeah. Fun.
Well, this was very cathartic for me. I don't know about you guys. I feel a little bit better.
I feel worse than ever.
Don't.
This wasn't a healing moment for you?
I'll shave my beard when we win.
Ooh, wow, that is a bold statement. Clip that.
All of us will. We will all do that.
If Philadelphia wins, I mean, if we beat Philadelphia,
because you said it.
We'll all do it. All of us. Put on the poll. Should we all just shave all of our beards,
or should it just be Jose?
What happens? I don't understand.
If we win one game, the next time we win one game, just the rest of the year, just win one game.
Every time that we win a game, Jose has to shave something. First his beard, then he has to shave his eyebrow, then the other one.
No, you went too far.
Every game he has to shave something else off.
Again. No, Dave, you're doing that thing again where you excerpt yourself out. No. I'll do the first win, and then the second one can be David, and the third one Julio, and we can do that.
I can't insert myself, but you can just insert yourself on us.
There you go. Work? That's it. I'm not shaving my eyeballs. What's wrong with you? No.
Tony says there's no chance of Miami missing the playoffs.
We'll see about that. Says bet.
Hold my mate. No, I agree with that. I mean, the cream's got to float to the top, even if the top is just above the playoff waterline.
That's why I said limp into the playoffs, because chances are that you're probably going to make it, but it's not going to be pretty getting in there. Not at this rate. Something could change, but the way we've seen.
Yeah, exactly. What's going on here? I understand not being able to train as hard once you become older, but if the vets don't. Yeah, I mean, again, and this is something that reverberates not just with training, but complaining about calls on the pitch and just the general dissent whenever anything goes not in our favor.
Right.
That's a problem that we see. We've been seeing it since last season.
We saw that last year as well, and that was one of the things that we were always talking about, where it's like, this can be good for our young players. Like, we have a lot of young players sprinkled in, and it's like, and you always notice that Alba gets a yellow card, and then boom, Toto gets a yellow card, and then it's okay. Well, Alba
Toto's an animal, but yes.
Then also Redondo's in that same, and his elbows follow.
I mean, that's what cost us in God, I always forget which tournament it was. David Ruiz got the double yellows real quick.
That was CONCACAF. Monterrey.
That's what cost us. It was people losing their cool. And that eliminated us, and we haven't seen David Ruiz. It feels like since.
I thought I should have subbed them out too, but
man, I mean, yeah, it's chronic with this club.
You guys remember I called that out, and I was like, guys, this guy's playing a little too crazy. We should take him out.
2 seconds later,
right,
drop kick someone.
Good old days.
Well, when,
It's funny how time is a flat circle. As much as things change, nothing changes.
That's right. Just like the earth.
Yeah.
So anyways, Saturday we play Philadelphia. We'll be live for the post-match that evening, unless we take an unexpected golf trip, but I think we should be all right for Saturday. So I hope this was helpful. It was a little bit different of a format to our usual like post-game. If you guys enjoyed it, please hit the like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. I don't think by name I thanked our chief Heron Heads, but Chow, who was able to catch a stream. All right, Chow. And Mighty V, thank you for the continued generous support. If you'd like to support us on Patreon, you'll find a link in the description. We got a merch shop. We got a Discord server that's been very lively lately, so be sure to join. We're talking about Inter Miami. We're talking about other stuff. There's a great video of Chris golfing in there, so bonus content for anyone that joins the server.
Scratch golfer.
That's right. Thanks for hanging out with us at the Heron Heads podcast, powered by 786 Sports, your first stop for all things Inter Miami. And we'll see you guys Saturday evening after an Inter Miami win. Bye.